So think about the last time when you spent by yourself. Why were you alone? So I hope it was not because you had to or because there was no one around for you to hang out with. So when we think about what makes for a good alone time, we tend to think it's the activities that we do during that time. But in fact, it's more the matter of why we are alone in the first place. So that is essentially the focus of my research. I study solitude from a motivational perspective. So for my thesis, I had participants come in and have them spend time alone in the lab without any device and no activities. So for one group, I told the participant that you must be alone because I told you so. For the other group, I suggested to them that you can experience solitude as something personal to you. Just try it out and see how it feels. So for this second group, the instruction allowed them to value and take interest in solitude, whereas words like must and should make us feel like we have to do something that we don't want to. So what I found is that solitude makes us lonely when it's forced onto us. However, if we take interest and value solitude, we enjoy it more. So in another study, with the same design, but I added a behavioral measure, a pencil sorting task. So I want to see whether or not people would rather doing something boring than to spend time by themselves. So I begged my advisor to buy me 2,000 golf pencils and had participants in the room and offer them to either sort pencil or to be alone with themselves. So significantly greater number of participants that were given the instruction with must and should would rather sort pencil than sitting alone with themselves. So the equivalent of this is when we see solitude as something that happens to us rather than choosing it, then we would rather pick up a remote control, look at our phone, log into social media. Even though there's nothing going on that is exciting, we'd rather do that anyway than sitting alone with ourselves. But in fact, if we actually take interest in solitude and values it, we might as well enjoy it more. So the value of solitude is that it dampens down our arousal level, allowing us to recover from previous attentionally demanding activities. So while solitude might not be exciting, it does not have to be a bad thing. So if you find yourself want some calmness and relaxation during your day, I would suggest you choose solitude. In fact, my most recent study even showed that choosing to take time in solitude can help us feel more connected and close to other people afterward, even for those with higher risk for loneliness. So perhaps spending time alone, dependent on our motivation for it, does not have to be antithetical to our nature as a social organism after all. Thank you.